If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. In the unpredictable landscape of NFL quarterback competitions, the Cleveland Browns find themselves in the middle of one of the most unusual battles in recent memory. It's rare enough to see 2 or 3 legitimate quarterbacks battling for the starting spot, but when you throw 4 into the mix, things tend to get murky, chaotic, or downright dysfunctional. But somehow, this isn't the case in Cleveland, at least not yet. Rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel, a third-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, has gone on the record to say that the Browns quarterback room is actually a strength, not a weakness. In a world where internal competition can quickly become toxic or divisive, Gabriel's comments are as refreshing as they are surprising. Instead of expressing frustration about limited reps or clashing styles, the former Oklahoma standout has embraced the challenge. And what's more, he claims the diversity within the group has actually elevated the performance of everyone involved. The Browns quarterback situation is unlike anything we've seen in recent years. Joe Flacco, at age 40, is considered the presumptive starter after a surprisingly efficient and veteran-savvy 2023 campaign in this very offense. He brings a calm presence and a Super Bowl pedigree that command respect in any locker room. And then you have Kenny Pickett, the former first-round pick by Pittsburgh, trying to reinvent himself after a rocky start to his NFL career. Behind him is Gabriel, full of fire, energy, and confidence, eager to prove that size doesn't define success at the pro level. Rounding out the group is Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, whose presence alone brings more media attention than some entire teams. 4 very different quarterbacks, 4 unique journeys, one shared goal: win the starting job and lead the Browns back to relevance. And somehow, according to Gabriel, it's all working, not just functioning, but thriving in a way that benefits everyone. Dillon Gabriel's comments from Browns training camp offered a level of poise and maturity well beyond his years. "I'm different than the other QBs," he said, "and I think it's good. You want to have versatility." That line alone reveals his mindset: not threatened, not insecure, but aware and confident. Most rookies would feel overwhelmed entering a situation like this, battling for attention and validation among a group with veterans and high-profile names. But Gabriel sees the forest through the trees. He sees competition as an opportunity to grow rather than a barrier to overcome. "You look at the strength of a room, it's because of how versatile we are," he continued. It's a powerful message from a rookie who, by all accounts, is third on the depth chart. He's not posturing. He's not playing media games. He's simply stating what he believes. This room, these players, this battle is bringing out the best in all of them. What's most impressive about Gabriel's perspective is the sense of unity he describes within a room that could easily fall into disarray. Think about the pressure cooker environment that is an NFL training camp. Everyone's trying to make a name. Everyone wants to prove they belong. Yet Gabriel is preaching not just self-improvement, but learning from others. It's a growth mindset, he said. It's not only about challenging one another, but challenging ourselves. That kind of mentality is infectious. It changes the tone of the entire position group. When your third-string rookie is echoing themes of teamwork and versatility rather than politicking or self-promotion, that sets a standard. And in an era where quarterbacks are often isolated from the rest of the team, coddled, protected, or propped up as saviors, it's notable that the Browns quarterback room is functioning as a cohesive unit instead of a fractured one. Of course, no Browns conversation this summer is complete without mentioning Shedeur Sanders. The former Colorado star entered the NFL surrounded by a media circus. Being Deion Sanders' son comes with built-in attention, expectations, and scrutiny. Yet Gabriel handled a question about Sanders with the kind of grace you'd expect from a seasoned vet, not a rookie. "He's had a life under a microscope." "For sure," Gabriel said, and rightfully so for what he's been able to do. No jealousy, no pettiness, just respect. Gabriel didn't use the opportunity to elevate himself or downplay his competition. Instead, he recognized the similarities. They share, both young, both rookies, both under pressure. "I think we're going through similar times in our lives," he added. "Different in our own ways. In a room filled with differing backgrounds and styles, Gabriel's ability to connect with his teammates might be his most underrated skill. The quarterback position is often described as the loneliest in sports, but in Cleveland it seems to be anything but that. Gabriel even extended his praise to the rest of the QB room. And then you add Deshaun, Joe, and Kenny to the room. They got a lot of stories to tell. That statement underscores just how layered this group truly is. While Deshaun Watson remains absent from the battle for now, his presence still looms over the team, at least symbolically. Joe Flacco represents the past, a link to championship experience and the old guard of traditional pocket passes. Kenny Pickett sits somewhere in between, still trying to carve out his identity in the league. Gabriel and Sanders, meanwhile, embody the new age of quarterbacks, mobile, creative, and media savvy. It's a melting pot of talent, egos, and personalities. And yet somehow, according to Gabriel, it's working like a well-oiled machine. But let's not get too caught up in the feel-good narrative. Training camp is ultimately about performance. And while Gabriel's attitude is commendable, his on-field output has been more uneven compared to the others. Reports from camp indicate that Gabriel's accuracy has wavered, and his physical measurements, height, arm length, and hand size don't exactly jump off the scouting report. In a league where measurables still matter, that could be a problem. But the Browns seem to be intrigued by what Gabriel offers that can't be measured by a tape measure or stopwatch. Resilience, leadership, and the rare ability to bring people together. Those qualities might not win him the starting job, but they could very well win him a spot on the roster. And in a quarterback room as crowded as this one, even that is a significant achievement. What makes this battle even more fascinating is how tight-lipped the Browns have been about everything. Coach Kevin Stefanski and his staff aren't tipping their hand. The players are following suit, offering vanilla answers and team-first mantras in nearly every interview. It's a refreshing change from the typical camp drama we've seen around the league. And make no mistake, this is a battle worth watching. There's no obvious franchise guy leading the charge. Each quarterback brings a unique trait to the table. Flacco's experience, Pickett's raw talent, Gabriel's versatility, Sanders' upside. The Browns brass will have to decide. Not just who plays best in practice, but who fits the long-term vision of what they want this offense to be. And while fans are eager for answers, the organization appears content letting this play out in the shadows. As for Gabriel, he'll continue to do what he's done since college. Stay ready, stay humble, and outwork the man in front of him. It's easy to root for a guy who embraces his limitations, recognizes the strengths of those around him, and still believes in his own potential. And while he may not be the flashiest name in the room, he might just be the glue. In an NFL world obsessed with star power and immediate results, Gabriel represents the old school grind. The guy who earns his stripes through preparation, communication, and humility. Whether that earns him a starting role or a backup gig remains to be seen. But make no mistake, he's already left a mark on this quarterback room. And if you believe what he says, this collection of arms is stronger together than apart. And that might be the very thing that pushes the Browns forward this season. So what's next for Cleveland? More practices, more scrimmages, and more non-answers. Expect more media availability from all four quarterbacks, each echoing the same message of competition and unity without revealing much of anything. That's how the Browns want it, and that's how it'll likely stay. But beneath the carefully crafted quotes or media-trained responses, something real might be brewing. A rare alchemy, a group of quarterbacks who are feeding off each other in the best way possible. Gabriel may not be the guy come week one, but if his mindset is contagious, he could very well be the reason this room doesn't implode under the weight of its own ambition. And in the wild, wild world of NFL quarterback competitions, that might be the biggest win of all. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Aaron Donald to the Browns. Yes, that's the latest rumor shaking the very foundation of the NFL landscape this offseason. In what's being described behind the scenes as one of the boldest and most unexpected moves in recent memory, sources close to both the Cleveland Browns organization and Donald's camp suggest that a blockbuster deal may have already been quietly sealed. While the official announcement hasn't hit the newswires just yet, murmurs from insiders across the league point to a mega agreement that would send the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year to Ohio in a dramatic shift of power within the AFC. The Browns, already boasting a formidable defense, appear to be making one final thunderous push to catapult themselves into serious Super Bowl contention. And with Donald possibly donning the orange and brown this season, the implications are seismic. Not just for Cleveland, but for every quarterback, offensive line, and offensive coordinator in the conference. What makes this potential deal even more jaw-dropping is how stealthy both parties have been in orchestrating it. No leaks, no cryptic tweets, no suspicious airport sightings, nothing. It's almost as if they've taken a page from the New England Patriots playbook of silent domination. But as the dust begins to settle on what's been a relatively quiet offseason for the Browns, this rumor has exploded like a cannon blast across the league. Imagine the Browns' defensive front with Myles Garrett on one side, on Aaron Donald, collapsing the interior. It's not just intimidating, it's terrifying. Defensive coordinators around the league would salivate at a thought, while offensive lines would scramble to prepare for all-out war in the trenches. Donald, known for his relentless motor and surgical precision at the line of scrimmage, would instantly elevate a Cleveland defense that already ranked among the league's elite in multiple statistical categories last season. And here's where things get even more intriguing. Sources say the deal is structured in a way that doesn't completely cripple Cleveland's salary cap. That alone has fans and analysts alike scratching their heads. How did they pull this off? Some whispers indicate that Donald was willing to restructure, possibly even take a slight pay cut, in exchange for guaranteed money, a long-term vision, and perhaps most importantly, the chance to chase another ring before retiring. He's already built a Hall of Fame legacy, but joining a team on the cusp of greatness might be the fuel he needs for one final, explosive chapter in his storied career. With the Rams signaling a potential rebuild and Donald hinting at retirement, over the past couple of years, this rumored agreement with the Browns could be the perfect alignment of timing, ambition, and mutual benefit for both player and franchise. For the Browns, the message is clear. The time is now. No more waiting for young talent to develop. No more hoping things finally click. This is an all-in move. The kind of aggressive win-now mentality that franchises adopt when they know they're just one piece away. And if Donald is indeed that piece, Cleveland could become a nightmare matchup in the playoffs. Their secondary, already stacked with talent, would benefit immensely from Donald's pressure up front. Linebackers would have cleaner reads. The turnover margin could skyrocket. It's the kind of domino effect only a generational talent like Donald can create. But of course, with great expectations come great pressure. If this move is real, it's not just about making the playoffs anymore. It's about hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. And in Cleveland, the city starved for football glory, that's a dream worth risking everything for. Another interesting layer to this developing story is how this impacts the AFC North. A division already brimming with elite quarterbacks and powerhouse defenses. The addition of Aaron Donald to the Browns shifts the balance of power dramatically. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Kenny Pickett would all face the daunting task of reading a defense that now features arguably two of the most disruptive players in the game. It's not hyperbole to say that if this deal becomes official, Cleveland's defense could flirt with historic status. We're talking about the kind of dominance that wins games in December and January. The kind that defines legacies. And while Browns fans have every reason to be cautiously optimistic the rest of the division, they're probably losing sleep at the mere thought of it. If this rumor is true, the AFC North just became the most dangerous division in football bar none. Let's not forget the human element here, Donald himself. If these whispers are to be believed, the decision to join Cleveland wasn't just about football. It's about legacy, longevity, and a desire to prove something one more time. After years of anchoring the Rams' defense, capturing a Super Bowl, and dominating offensive lines like a one-man wrecking crew, Donald has little left to prove. But the great ones, they're wired differently. They chase greatness until the very end. And maybe, just maybe, he sees something in Cleveland, a roster with potential, a coaching staff with vision, a fan base hungry for glory. Perhaps that's what drew him in. And if that's the case, it's not just a strategic move, it's a statement. Donald isn't winding down, he's gearing up. And the league better be ready, because a motivated Aaron Donald in a new environment could be even more dangerous than ever. There's also a behind-the-scenes angle worth considering, the relationship between Donald and key Browns personnel. Word around the league suggests there's been mutual admiration for some time, perhaps dating back to scouting days or off-season workout connections. It's said that Browns GM Andrew Berry has long coveted a player like Donald to be the centerpiece of his defense. And if this rumored deal truly exists, Berry may have finally pulled off what many thought was impossible. It wouldn't be the first time he made an under-the-radar move that turned heads. And in Donald's case, he's not just adding a piece, he's changing the DNA of the defense. Locker room leadership, championship mentality, relentless work, ethic. It all comes with Donald. That's the kind of presence that transforms not just a unit, but a franchise. And if the front office really pulled this off, the rest of the NFL might be forced to recalibrate their own expectations for 2025. The media frenzy has already begun. National reporters are scrambling to verify details. Team insiders are hinting at big news on the horizon, and social media is ablaze with speculation. Memes, mock-ups of Donald in a Browns jersey, fan reaction videos. It's all happening in real time, despite no official confirmation from either side. That's the power of a rumor this massive. It consumes the conversation, it dominates headlines. And if it turns out to be true, it will go down as one of the boldest acquisitions in Browns history, possibly NFL history. But even if it's still just speculation for now, the conversation is worth having. Because when a player like Aaron Donald is involved, no rumor is too outlandish. And for Browns fans who've waited decades for a moment like this, even the possibility is enough to send shockwaves through the Dawg Pound. Of course, skeptics will say it's all smoke and mirrors. That Donald staying in LA, that the cap. Math doesn't work. That Cleveland wouldn't risk so much on a veteran who's flirted with retirement. But those same skeptics probably said the same about Tom Brady joining the Buccaneers, or about Matthew Stafford going to the Rams. The NFL has changed. Stars move. Super teams form. And windows of opportunity are short. If this rumor has legs, then it's a sign that Cleveland is embracing that new reality. They're not sitting back. They're pushing forward. And whether it's through trade, restructure, or outright free agency maneuvering, they might have just pulled off a masterstroke. Time will tell. But right now, all eyes are on Cleveland, and Aaron Donald might be too. Until there's an official press release or a jaw-dropping tweet from Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport, this story remains in the realm of speculation. But it's the kind of speculation that feels different. It's not baseless. It's not wishful thinking. There's too much smoke for there not to be at least a flicker of fire. And for a city like Cleveland, a franchise hungry for more than just respectability, this could be the turning point they've been waiting for. The next few days will be critical. Will we get confirmation? Will the Browns make their Super Bowl? Intentions clear with one of the biggest splashes in recent memory. Or will this remain the NFL's biggest what-if of the offseason? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. Aaron Donald's name, linked with the Browns, has already changed the narrative. And maybe, just maybe, it's changed Cleveland's future too. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!